You hear it everywhere. Grow faster, awaken faster, open faster. But there's a side nobody brags about. Let me give you a scene. A guy I knew wasn't chasing wisdom. He was chasing a feeling. He watched the clips, bought the courses, stacked practices like trophies. One week he was ascending. The next week he couldn't sleep, couldn't focus, couldn't stand being around people. Not because he discovered truth, because he overloaded his system and called it progress. And here's the trap. When it starts going wrong, most people double down. They assume the chaos means it's working. They interpret instability as a sign they're special, and they keep pouring fuel. If you've felt that, the rush, then the crash, this video is for you. Because real inner work has laws, not rules to obey. Laws like gravity. You can ignore them, but you can't negotiate the outcome. Today I'll show you the dark side of spiritual growth through 7 simple principles, not as theory, but as a safety system. A way to know when you're evolving and when you're just destabilizing yourself. First, the uncomfortable truth. The fastest path is not the same as the safest path. And more intensity is often just the ego wearing a sacred costume. So let's make it practical. 1. The first law. Your inner world is the engine, not your vision board. Most people think growth is getting something. A new state, a new power, a new experience. But the real engine is your inner condition. If your inner condition is restless, hungry, and constantly searching, then even spiritual practice becomes another way to feed restlessness, hunger, and searching. That's why some people can meditate and become calmer, and others meditate and become more obsessed, more rigid, more unstable. Same practice, different engine. If your engine is, I need to become someone, growth becomes addiction. 2. The second law. Patterns repeat across levels, especially the hidden ones. Here's a brutal mirror. If you chase validation in relationships, you'll chase it in spirituality. If you're addicted to control at work, you'll try to control energy, signs, and synchronicities. If you avoid discomfort in daily life, you'll avoid it in inner work by jumping to the next technique. The same pattern just changes costume. So the question isn't which practice? The question is, what pattern is driving your practice? If you don't see that pattern, you'll grow in the wrong direction. 3. The third law. Everything moves, and you can't skip the price. People love the word frequency, but they treat it like a hack. Raise it fast, and life changes. Here's what actually happens. When you shift your inner signal too hard, too fast, you create friction. And friction isn't always mystical. It looks like irritability, social withdrawal, impulsive decisions, obsession with meaning in everything, and that weird sensation that normal life feels dull or fake. That's not enlightenment. That's a system struggling to stabilize. A real shift is integrated. It becomes simpler, steadier, more functional, not more dramatic. 4. The fourth law. Polarity, the high, always invites its opposite. This one explains so much. People touch a powerful experience, a retreat, a practice, a breakthrough moment. They feel lifted, clean, certain. Then the swing. Suddenly doubts, darkness, paranoia, emptiness. And they panic. I'm losing it. No, you're seeing how polarity works. If you chase only the high, you create a bigger low. If you deny the shadow side, it returns louder. Mature growth is not staying high, it's staying balanced while the poles move. 5. The fifth law. Rhythm. Every expansion demands a recovery phase. Here's the part the internet never sells. Growth has seasons. There's a season for insight, a season for rebuilding, a season for rest, a season for action, a season for silence. When you ignore rhythm, you burn out, then you blame yourself. Or worse, you blame negative energy. But the truth is simpler. you tried to harvest every day. If your life becomes unstable after a growth push, that's often rhythm collecting its debt. Real progress respects cycles. Not because you're weak, because that's how systems stay coherent. 6. The sixth law. Cause and effect. Every inner choice leaves a footprint. This is the most sobering one. Every time you use spirituality to escape your responsibilities, you train escape. Every time you use a practice to avoid a conversation you should have, you train avoidance. Every time you use meaning to justify chaos, you train self-deception. Small causes, big effects. You don't need a dramatic ritual to change your life. You need cleaner causes. Ask yourself this. Does this practice make me more honest, more stable, more grounded in my relationships? Or does it make me more obsessed? Your answer predicts your future. 7. The seventh law. Everything has two forces, and growth needs both. People misunderstand masculine, feminine, and make it cringe. So keep it simple. One force directs, one force receives. One shapes, one nourishes, one chooses, one allows. When people open too fast, it's often because they overuse one force. Too much forcing gives trying to dominate the inner world. Too much receiving gives drowning in impressions, signs, feelings, and confusion. Balanced growth is when your inner life has both clear direction and steady containment. If you lack containment, opening becomes leaking. And leaking looks like losing your center. So what's the practical takeaway? Here's the test I use, and it's brutally reliable. If your growth makes your real life worse for weeks, relationships, sleep, focus, money decisions, emotional stability, it's not growth. It's overload. True growth makes you more capable, not more fragile. More clear, not more confused. More simple, not more addicted to complexity. And if you've already pushed too hard, don't shame yourself. Don't romanticize it either. Treat it like you would any powerful force. Respect it, stabilize, and rebuild slowly. Because the goal isn't to open. The goal is to hold what you open. That's the difference between transformation and self-inflicted chaos. If you want more videos like this, clear, grounded, no fluff, you can subscribe.